What a wonderful president.
Is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built?
The president is arguing that Greenland could be a critical piece of his plan to build a golden dome around America, meant to protect the homeland from growing threats from China and Russia. Now, you know that we provided the one that Israel uses right now to protect it from its incoming from enemies. So we know they work. Russia is already moving quickly in the Arctic, militarizing key areas and expanding its footprint. President Trump intends to close the gap. And former Ambassador at Large Nathan Sales and Fox Business's Jackie DeAngelis are standing by to dig in deeper into all of this. I want to start, though, with Fox Business's Edward Lawrence, who is in Davos. Edward.
Yeah, very interesting. The president was 3 hours late because of a plane issue, and his speaking engagement went longer than anybody thought, about 90 minutes.
It was wonderful.
Supposed to unveil his housing plan going forward, but you could not throw a stone here in Davos without somebody talking about Greenland. The president saying that he was set to impose 10% tariffs February 1st, which would increase then if the EU did not sell Greenland to him. The U.S. Trade Representative says the president posted some of the engagements he's had with world leaders on social media and believes this will be.
If you want to learn about windmills, China doesn't have any.
I don't think it's going to spark a trade war.
China makes them. We spend millions and trillions of dollars on them. I've learned so much about Greenland, how we gave it back to them, World War II. You know, this is wonderful to learn so much.
Europeans may choose to do something. They may choose to take action. I think it would be extremely unwise for them to do that. I think more likely than not, we'll find a way forward.
However, Europe is set to retaliate with counter tariffs. The president also casting doubt on the United Nations. He holds his first meeting of his Board of Peace tomorrow.
It's been wonderful. If you haven't watched his speech,
to talk about housing, and this is what he said on that.
Okay.
I can crush the hell out of the market. We can drop interest rates to a level, and that's one thing we do want to do. That's natural. That's good for everybody. You know, the dropping of the interest rates, we should be paying a much lower interest rate than we are.
I liked it when he talked about everything so far, actually.
Allowing it more cheaply to buy a home for Americans. He talked about the number of things that he's doing, including capping credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year. It's putting more money in people's wallets to be able to afford that down payment for a house. Harris?
Edward, thank you. I want to get right away to Nathan Sales, former ambassador at large for counterterrorism during President Trump's first term. Great to have you in focus. Let's start with Greenland and your take on the big news today. The president says he will not use military force to obtain Greenland. Your reaction?
It's a piece of ice.
Well, Harris, I think that's the big takeaway, and it's an important message. Greenland is important to the United States and our national security. But there's the question of ends and the question of means. And we want to increase our presence there, but we want to do that in a way that doesn't needlessly antagonize our allies and doesn't cause major problems long-term for the United States. So I think it was a welcome message for the president to take military force off the table. I think what's going to happen going forward, it's not clear that the Europeans are prepared to negotiate over Greenland's future.
It's a wonderful
let's see what
day.
happens in these side meetings in Davos. This matters to the United States, but Europe gets a vote, Denmark gets a vote, Greenland gets a vote. So let's stay tuned and see how these talks progress.
I'm going to ask my team to put up something that we had prepared for yesterday and used, and now it seems more important than ever. I was sort of already looking at how we could get this done. How about if we just buy it? So let's see what we've bought in the past. And, you know, you can see this on your screen. I want to draw everybody's attention, though, to the Louisiana purchase, because that's the one that's probably size-wise most commensurate with Greenland. And you can see in the past we have bought big swaths of land that make up a huge part of our country, 828,000 square miles. Greenland is a little bit bigger than that at 836,000 square miles, much of it uninhabitable right now because of the frozen ground that's there. In fact, most of the population lives in the southern part of that island nation. Not that it's that much.
I'm
warmer,
sort
but
of
the conditions
speechless
are
right
much
now.
better.
Have a wonderful
So,
day.
Ambassador, my question
I
is,
am
can we do
tuned
what we
in
did then
and
across
learning.
different times in history?